Hello everyone, my name is James Ryan and I am here to teach you a cool fact about division. Now at the moment you may be saying, alright, just a cool fact, but it's not just a cool fact. It is an essentially important fact that will be used in my upcoming explanation about how and why polynomial long division works. And I'm actually recording this as a kind of an interjection in between my explanation. And the reason I'm doing that is because I would as much as I'd like to put this explanation in that video, it would be too jarring. So I'm just going to keep it as a separate explanation. Here's a sneak peek of the upcoming video. Make of it what you will. But cool fact about addition. I mean division. Okay. Take the division. How many times does 4 go into 21? You say 4 goes into 2 0 times. How many times does 4 go into 21? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 goes 5 times. Remainder 1. Or, if you are so inclined, 1/4. But that's just the thing. What does this remainder 1 actually mean? What this remainder 1 means is that you could not go any further. After going 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, if you tried to add another 4, it wouldn't work. It would be too much. But, so 4 only goes in 5 times, but it hasn't quite filled in everything. There's a remainder of 1. Once you times 4 by 5, you will still have to add 1 to get to 21. But with this definition of the remainder, this doesn't have to be the only way to solve this equation. Let's think about it. What other ways could I have done that equation? Well, I could say, well, 4 goes into 21, 4, 8, 12, 16, and I could have given up on adding 4 another time, and I would have said the answer is 4. But then what would the remainder be? Well, the remainder would simply be 5, wouldn't it? 4 goes into 21. How many times does 4 go into 21? It goes 4 times with a remainder of 5. And you're saying, well, James, that's silly because 4 could go in another time and you'd only get a remainder of 1. And I say, well, that's true. That is definitely true. But it's still correct. When 4 goes into 21 4 times, there is a remainder of 5. And that's true. Let's think about how these answers are written down. When you say something like 21 divided by 4 is equal to 5 remainder 1, you say it's 5 plus 1/4. The reason you put 1/4 in is because you say, well, 4 could only go in 4 could go in, but then you'd be like 3 over. But if we only take 1/4 of the 4, then you'd be in exactly, because 1/4 of 4 is 1. So you're just adding 1. Okay? That's how you add 1. Because when you know what I mean. Because 4 times 1 is 4, but 4 times 1/4 is only 1. So that's how that works. But when I said, okay, what about it's equal to, 4, when I said it's equal to 4 remainder 5, that just gives you the answer 4 plus 5 over 4, which is actually exactly the same as 5 plus 1/4. It gives you the exact same answer, which is great. Exact same answer. But this leads to something very important. What happens if you go over the division? What happens if you say 4 into 21 and you say it goes, and you say, you know what, I know 24 is bigger than 21, but I'm going to do it anyway. You say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. It goes in 6 times. The remainder, what is it? It's -3. Whoa. And then this, in the equation, this is legit. in the equation form, that would just become 6 minus 3/4, which is the same thing as 5 plus 1/4. It's the same thing. And one, of course, and another legit thing is you could say, how many times does 4 go into 21? And you would say 4 goes into 21 0 times with a remainder of 21. And this is what I would call the bull crap answer, or the bullsh answer if you're so inclined. I don't really want to swear on this video. I could, but I don't want to. And that would give you the lovely answer of 0 plus 21 over 4, which is the thing itself, which is basically silly because then you're going to have to do the division again. So why is it that we're only taught a division in class that gives us that particular answer? Well, it's because that's the most useful answer. That is the most useful answer. It is saying you can stick this thing into that thing that many times without problem, but then you're going to have to add in this much more in order to get to where you are. And the reason they teach it like this is because that's the most useful thing for all sorts of applications, especially in real life, okay? Because say you're trying to divide a cake among... say you're trying to divide 5 cupcakes among 20 people. Among 22 people. Can you do it? 6 cupcakes among 22 people, sure, why not? And you say, well, 6, 12, 18, 24, oh, so it's 6, 12, it's 3, but a remainder of 4. So, I can give 3 to everyone, but there's gonna be 4 cupcakes left over. There's gonna be 4 people there's gonna be 4 cupcakes left over, or something like that. Is that how it works? Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Is that how it works? Yeah. So, in review, there are 3 answers I'd like to... 3 main division answers and 3 different remainders that I would like to bring your attention to. The first is what I call the most useful answer, and I call it the positive remainder answer. And in this case, it would be 21, it would be 5 with a remainder of 1, or 5 plus 1/4. Okay? I'm going to call you to the second most useful answer, and this is useful because sometimes this is the answer you're going to get in polynomial long division. And this I call the negative remainder answer. The smallest... This one is the smallest positive remainder answer, and this one is going to be the smallest negative remainder answer, or closest to 0 negative remainder answer, and it is 6 minus 3/4, or 6 with a remainder of -3. And finally, I give you the bullcrap answer, which is the quotient, no, whatever, which is the I'm going to give you the bullcrap answer. There's probably a more technical name, but I couldn't think of what the actual term would be right now, and that would be 0 plus 21 over 4, or just 21 over 4, which is absolutely useless, pretty much. So, thank you for watching. My name is James Ryan, and I've been your host. Peace out.